I am not kidding y'all, because while you was watching the second worst Transformers movie ever, which is other than Transformers Age of Extinction, or unquote Age of Extinction, can you not believe that the actor that he voiced Jake the dog from Adventure Time, Bender the robot for Futurama, and last not least, one of the best villains in history of cinema, in the history of television, in the history of the media, in the history of the universe, which is none other than Dr. Draken from Kim Possible. Really, Michael Bay? You have got to be kidding me right now. This has got to be one of the worst performances that this guy ever did. And this is my reaction after I heard that Dr. Draken is in this awful movie. Really, Michael Bay? Who in the right mind want to see a Transformers Age of Extinction to have a almost, I don't know, like a 3-hour runtime? This film is 2 hours and 45 minutes. That's literally like a 3-hour movie. Dude, I'd rather watch Oppenheimer, way better 3-hour film, than watching a 3-hour film about a Transformers which I don't give a beep about. Hello fellas, what the sitch? My name is Nick Hicks, do your lounge here. Another Transformers rant. Last time I talked about Revenge of the Fallen. Well, wait, Revenge of the Terrible. That was bad. Yeah, Revenge of the Trashiness. That's much better. But now let's talk about the second worst Transformers movie ever. And I think it's even worse than Last Night. F that movie. Anyway, guys, so enough further ado, let's get to it. So today, I'm about to do a movie rant to one of the worst, well, I won't say it's the worst action movie of 2014, which at least this film is way more tolerable than The Legend of a Hercules. Yeah, man, F that movie. Yeah, I'm about to do a movie rant to one of the second worst Transformers movie I have ever seen in my life, and this film is a terrible follow-up to the decent movie called Transformers Dark of the Moon. After I went on these Transformers movie, I will definitely try my best to review all the good Transformers movies, like Transformers 2007, Transformers Dark of the Moon, and last not least, the original Transformers movie, and last not least, Bumblebee, and last not least, is Transformers 1. AKA one of my favorite things that came out from the Transformers franchise. I just don't get why this film made more money than Transformers 1. Like, what the frick? Anyway, guys, enough further ado. It's rant time. So, Transformers Age of Extinction, or Age of Extinction. This film is doink. Anyway, guys, so before I get to my rant, let's talk about the history about this film. So, when this film came out, on June 27, 2014, at the local movie theater near you, this film got terrible review. I did not respect that for a Transformers movie since Transformers Revenge of the Fallen. So everybody was thinking that Transformers Age of Extinction would be a lot better than Revenge of the Fallen. And for the living God, we got a second worst Transformers movie. Really, Michael Bay? It shows that back then, you was not trying at all. First, Revenge of the Fallen, and now Age of Extinction. What next? The Last Night? Yeah, I'm gonna do a rant on that film. Maybe tomorrow or next week. I don't know. Time to tell. Anyway, let's check out the Rotten Tomato for this freaking movie. So when this film came out at the local movie theater, guess what this rating is? That's right. This film got a 18% on Rotten Tomato for the critic, and this film got a 50% for the audience. Man, this is just as bad as Transformers Revenge of the Fallen. When that film came out, it was panned by critic, it was panned by the fan, it was panned by the audience, and this film was unquote as the worst Transformers movie ever. Which I'm not going that far. And yes, sure, this film is stoink, but I'm really thinking Revenge of the Fallen will always be the worst Transformers movie. But Age of Extinction, that's the second worst. Sorry, that's the second worst. Yeah, F that movie in the A. And last but not least, Transformers Age of Trashiness got a 5.6 out of 10. Oh my goodness. This film is absolutely terrible. Like having Aaron Kruger to wrote the script for this freaking movie. Even I'm a huge fan of Transformers Dark of the Moon. Even it's not a masterpiece, like I love it like a 10 out of 10. But the writing in that film was absolute atrocity. And back then, it can shows that Aaron Kruger cannot write crap. And he has got to be one of the worst screenwriters in Hollywood. Just because he wrote Top Gun Maverick, that doesn't mean I will forgive him what he done in the future Transformers movie back in years ago, back in 2009, 2011, and last not least, 2014. And of course, 2017. Even I think the Emoji movie is the worst movie of 2017. But maybe Transformers might in the close second. But I'm really thinking the movie 9/11 and Justice League is and honestly, those two movies are neck and neck. It's just neck and neck. But the Emoji movie is way worse than a movie that came out in 2017. Anyway, let's get back to the topic. Anyway, yeah, Transformers Age of Extinction, guys. Before I talk about this, no, I'm not talking about the 9/11 event. I'm not going way too far. No, I'm talking about the one movie that came out in 2017, starring Charlie Sheen and Whoopi Goldberg. So don't worry, don't get me in a bunch, and Andro, don't get shocking enough. I was just talking about that 9/11 movie that came out in 2017, which is a very disrespectful and what a huge spin in the face to that horrible event that happened in 2001. There was nothing happy about it at all. And if I hear any people making joke about it, F them. Anyway, I mean, screw them, better said. That was not very nice. I don't care. Anyway, yeah, this film was written by Aaron Kruger, and oh my goodness, just because he wrote Top Gun Maverick, that doesn't mean that Aaron Kruger is the best screenwriter in Hollywood. Man, there are a way better screenwriter, and they can write a better Transformers movie than this piece of garbage. Like the screenwriter of Transformers 1 is way better in a minute of the screenwriting in this Transformers movie. Because in the Michael Bay Transformers movie, the biggest problem of these movies was not than the screenwriting. The screenwriting was terrible, but not as terrible as Last Night, which, get to it tomorrow. And sad news is, this film was a box office hit. How on earth that Michael Bay Transformers movie, the Michael Bay Transformers movie, made more money than Transformers 1? Screw you, Paramount. Why on earth that you market Transformers 1 as a baby movie? It's PG, it's for everyone, for all you stupid, darn it. Yeah, honestly, I just feel disgusted and feel so embarrassed that every single Michael Bay Transformers movie made more money than Transformers 1. Michael Bay, I hate to say it, but Transformers 1 is a true Transformers movie. Not your movie, but just because you made Dark of the Moon, which is a very decent movie, that doesn't mean that your Transformers film are masterpiece. I would watch your Ninja Turtle movie instead of watching your crappy Transformers movie. But even worse than that, this film got a Razzie. How embarrassing is that? Not just this film got panned by critic, fan, and the audience. Not just this film got the worst rating on IMDb. And not just this film was a box office hit, which is very disrespectful for Transformers movie. This film got nominated for 7 Razzie, including Worst Picture, Worst Director, Michael Bay, and Worst Supporting Actor, Kelsey Grammer. And I'll get to Kelsey Grammer character in a minute, because he has got to be one of the worst characters in the Italian movie. And he officially have dethroned Fallen from Revenge of the Fallen because I am very respectful for Tony Todd's family. And Tony Todd, rest in peace, man. You did not deserve to die like that by cancers. But anyway, but Kelsey Grammer as a main antagonist, that has got to be one of the worst Transformers villain I have ever seen in my life. And there are way better Transformers villain out there, like Megatron or Senator Prime. It's way better than this piece of crap. So, what do I think about this movie? Well, I gotta say is it was exactly I thought it was going to be. No exaggeration, no sarcasm, like Shigo. I'm not like Shigo, like doing sarcasm. But I gotta say, this film was steaming pile of robot crap. This film is absolutely terrible, boring, god-awful, and absolutely horrendous. This film, oh my goodness, this has got to be one of the worst 3-hour movie I have ever watched in my 23 years of my life, period. Like, come on, Michael Bay. Who in the right mind want to see this film as a 3-hour film? Like, come on, there are way better 3-hour film I can mention right now, like No Time to Die, Oppenheimer, or Avatar, Avatar the Way to Water. Sorry about the stuttering. Back I was saying. And Babylon? What else? I know. It's The Lord of the Rings, Return of the King. And of course, the Godfather movie. Well, the 1 and 2. But the third one did not count because I really think the third one is 2 hours. And that's why that film kind of stunk. But I'll get to that. In the future. But won't be this year, but might be next year. I don't know. Yeah, they're a way better 3-hour film than Transformers Age of Extinction. Yeah, do I have any good thing about this film? Well, a little bit. I do like the Autobot, the one they show in the trailer. I gotta say, that Dragon Autobot, that is the coolest thing I have ever seen of any Transformers Michael Bay movie. And one of the top 10 best Transformers character in history of cinema. And even Optimus Prime actor Peter Corso, he did a terrific job once again as Optimus Prime. But not the one for the last night. So, yeah, I'll get to that tomorrow. But that's it. That is completely it. The rest, let's tear this movie apart and let's write this film into a new one. The story, my God, this has got to be one of the most messy story I ever seen in the Transformers movie. Man, this is just as bad and as terrible as the screenwriting for Revenge of the Fallen. And it shows that Aaron Kruger, it has got to be one of the worst screenwriters in Hollywood. Even I don't disrespect filmmaker, like who you think I am, Troll Bandicoot fan 2001? Yeah, even I feel respectful for filmmaker. But Aaron Kruger back then, he does not try at all. And yes, I do not care that the fact that this film came out 10 years or 11 years. Honestly, there was no excuse that this film had to be that awful. Honestly, there was a one scene in the film. I crap you not. Chris Stuckman said in his review, there was a one scene in the film when they show a pop culture reference. Yeah, pop culture reference in a Transformers movie. Which another then, there was advertising for beer. I'm sorry, Michael Bay, but I did not pay a movie to see your trashy beer advertisement. I pay for a Transformers movie, not a advertisement for beer. And it's stupid. So yeah, it was just pop culture references. Well, maybe it's some reference by pop culture references. Yeah, they have pop culture references in the movie, like a beer commercial. Like, we do not want to see that in the Michael Bay Transformers movie or any film, period. Yeah, I cannot believe this film have audacity to put a pop culture reference in. Like, what the heck is this? Cartoon Minion the movie? Well, even that film is way worse. It's gotta be one of the worst pieces of crap I ever went through in my entire life. But I'll get to that movie this summer, so don't worry, I'm focused on Paramount Month. Or I can talk about it in my CEO of Nick Cake Garbage on my episode of the Nick Cakes and the Powell. So turn on the notification if you wanna tune in for that. Anyway, so what else have to say about this? Yeah, all I gotta say about the story is absolutely lazy. It's absolutely all over the place. The story was mixed for one movie, and that's why you got your 3 hour one time. No, this film does not deserve like a 3 hour one time. You want to see a way better 3 hour film? Just go watch Return of the King, aka The Lord of the Ring. Go watch that. It's way better than this piece of robot crap. Whoa, pieces of crap. Yeah, I meant to say that. And of course, the characters. I did not like every single character in this film. Not even the one character voiced by the same actor that he was in one of my best things that came out. And I'll get to that in a minute. Let's start off with Mark Wahlberg characters. I'd rather have Shia LaBeouf way better than having Mark Wahlberg to replace Shia LaBeouf. How on earth that Shia LaBeouf is not in this movie? Like, seriously. Yeah, Kate, I meant to say. Yeah, you know what? Let's call him Mark Wahlberg. Really, Mark Wahlberg? Who agree with me that Blue Falcon from Scoob and him as John from the Ted movie way better than his awful character in this movie? Yeah. This has got to be one of the worst performances by Mark Wahlberg that he ever did in his career. But let's see the next one. Movie even worse. Which another than Fire Risk, the movie about Mark Wahlberg shave his head and become a pirate. Hey, somebody need a pirate? Hey, shut up. Yeah, honestly, no offense, Mark Wahlberg. Even I like you. I still support you no matter what. But, my God, this has got to be one of the worst performances that you ever did, Mark Wahlberg. So, I am very sorry, man. It's got to be one of the worst performances that you ever did. And, of course, the one chick right here, which is this one, Tessa. I did not like that character. I tried my best to fall in love with her, but I cannot believe they completely trash her characters. And her character development is absolutely terrible. And Shane? Yeah, honestly, I do remember Dino 75 and Paul 126 tell me about this. Because there was... Honestly, I'm going to be thinking this film is a pedophile. Yeah, this film is a pedophile. Why? It's because Shane, he's a 20 years old. And Tessa, she is 17. How on earth that a 20-year-old man dating a 17-year-old girl? Please don't tell me that is a pedophile, and newsflash and spoil it, those couple are a pedophile. I cannot believe Michael Bay put a pedophile reference in the Transformers movie. Not just Wreck-It Ralph 2 doing it, and now Transformers 4 is doing it. Well, even this film came way before Wreck-It Ralph 2, because this film came out in 2014, which is F that. And last not least, Wreck-It Ralph 2 came out in 2018. So, newsflash, there was no excuse that you have a 20-year-old man dating a 17-year-old girl. And I already know that people is going to say, Nick, you don't understand. That's not a pedophile. Well, look at the live stream that Paul 126 did with Dino 75. And go to that part. And go to that part when they was talking about Transformers Age Extinction. So not just Transformers 4 is doing it, even Wreck-It Ralph 2 is doing it. Which then Ralph was talking Penelope. Yeah, I'm getting sick of tired of these movies or having pedophile reference. Thanks to what, Cuties? Well, even this film came way before Cuties came out, and I do not want to think about Cutie. Honestly, let's continue. Honestly, the worst villain in the movie, which is then Howard, played by the legendary Kelsey Grammer. Kelsey Grammer, what the sitch were you doing in this movie? No! You are the same actor that you were in Toy Story 2 as Sticky Pete. And, of course, he was the main antagonist from Stork. which is really okay. Not the best, but it's okay. And what else movie that Kelsey Grammer was in? He was in the Marvel. He was in Like Father. Never heard that movie. And I think that's probably it, honestly. And let me know in the comment what else movie that Kelsey Grammer was in. But for me, I already know that he was in Toy Story 2 as a villain, Stork as a villain, and of course he was in some of the X-Men project as Mr. Beef. No, not Mr. Beef from YouTuber. No, I'm talking about his character in the X-Men universe. So, hope he come back in the Avengers Doomsday. Oh wait, he's coming back on the Avengers Doomsday, so no problem now. Yeah, I'm very sorry, Captain Grumble. You are so awesome as Sticky Pete from Toy Story 2, which is my favorite villain in the Toy Story movie. Yeah, way better than Luck, so. But I'm very sorry, Grumble. But this has got to be one of the worst performances that you've ever done. And mark my word, who agreed that Sticky Pete from Toy Story 2 is a much better Captain Grumble character more than seeing his character in this freaking movie. Yeah, Harewood, he was a dreadful villain. He was a very awful villain. He was absolutely horrendous, and his performance is absolutely razzy-woolly. Yeah, no wonder this film got nominated for Worst Supporting Actor, because Kevin Grumble, he cannot be a good villain in this movie at all. And what else character I hate? Oh, let's get to the Autobot. The worst aspect of the entire movie. Even I like Optimus Prime, but all the Autobot was absolutely terrible. Especially the one Autobot. Honestly, and they choose the actor. And that literally broke my heart. I was hoping that John Magatti. Honestly, I'm just calling him John because his last name is really goofy. No offense. Anyway, I cannot believe he picked, honestly, the one Transformers film, and now he had to pick one of the worst one. You know what character is that? Well, the character, aka Autobot, Claus Howland, voiced by the legendary John D. Magatti, the same actor that he was in Despicable Me 4 as a bus driver, Bender the Robot from Futurama, Jake the Dog from Adventure Time, and last but not least, Dr. Dragon from Peak Possible, or Kim Possible, I meant to say, because that show is peak. So are you telling me that the actor of Dr. Dragon is in this freaking movie? He has got to be one of the worst Autobots I have ever seen since I won Autobot have an Auto spot in Revenge of the Fallen. I'm sorry, John, but you were so awesome as Jake, Bender, and Dr. Dragon, and of course the bus driver from Despicable Me 4 when he say, "Do I make myself weird?" Yeah, every time he yell, he kind of sounds like Dr. Dragon, especially when Minion grab the bus driver and take him to the building. He's like, "Hey, what are you doing?" Yeah, I gotta say, John have one of the best screaming I have ever seen, because his screaming sound like Dr. Dragon. So, no cyberboy, I was just saying. I'm sorry, John, but even I like you as Dr. Dragon, Jake the dog, and Bender from Adventure Time. But I'm sorry, John, but this has got to be one of the worst and god-awful performances that you ever did in your career. And I hoping to goodness that you can be in good film. And thankfully, he finally redeemed himself by being in good project. I don't know what project that he was in after he was in that god-awful movie. But please don't do this again, John. Please don't do this again, because this is the worst Autobot I ever seen. Next to the one Autobot who liked to speak freaking Spanish and that Transformed the last night. And I'll get to that film tomorrow. And last but not least, you got the of course, you got the one Autobot voiced by John Goodman. Oh my god. He is even worse than his character from the live-action Footstone. But I gotta say, the same with John have the worst performance in this film as the Green Autobot. But really, John Goodman, you're the same actor that he was in Monster Inc. as Sully, The Others New Glue as Pacha. What else? What else project he was in? Oh yeah, he was Baru from The Jungle Book 2. Even though I don't like that movie, but at least he was a good aspect about the movie. But I'm very sorry, John Goodman. But it has got to be one of the worst performances that you ever did. And for God's sake, his performance make his character for not Futurama, of the Flintstone. I meant to say the Flintstone. If I say Futurama, my apology. I meant to say of Flintstone. Because his character in this film as Autobot, that honestly his character from the live action Flintstone look like Sully from Monster Inc. and Pacha from The Others New Glue comparison. That's how bad his performance is, and who agreed that all the character that John Goodman, who was in called the 10 Cloverfield Lane, is a much better performance. More than seeing a minute of him in this freaking movie. And is Bumblebee in this movie? Let me check real quick. Yeah, I'm going to be thinking Bumblebee is in this movie. Ah, crap! Yeah, I'm going to be thinking Bumblebee is in this movie. But if it is, I cannot believe why they ruined my boy. Yeah, Bumblebee. I am so glad that he finally redeemed himself in that Bumblebee 2018 movie. And I do have a crush on Haley Steinfeld character. She's hottie. And the climax. Holy heck. The climax in the action scene, it is absolutely god-awful. And don't let me get started on the cinematography. The cinematography just really made my eyes bleed. Because the cinematography is got to be one of the worst looking Transformers movie I ever seen. And for goodness sake, this is the same cinematography from Revenge of the Fallen. Or every single Michael Bay movie, honestly. Even I enjoy some of the Michael Bay movie, but I'm very sorry, Michael Bay. But this cinematography is absolutely god-awful and pointless. So yeah. And the action scene, once again, the action scene, just like Revenge of the Fallen and every single Michael Bay Transformers movie, is all about shaking cam, explosions, shaking the freaking camera. And there was one scene in the film, then the worst Autobot was doing his pose. Yeah, slow-mo action scene. So original. Not. I'm done talking about this movie. Because the more I think about this movie, more it just makes me angry. So overall, guys, Transformers Age of Extinction, it has got to be one of the second worst Transformers movie ever made. The story is messy, the characters unlikable, the villain was dreadful, the cinematography is absolutely looking awful, and even I'm not a huge fan of using this term, but I have to say it. But the cinematography is cheap and lazy. The action scene is really explosion, shooting the gun, and last night we shaking the freaking camera. Honestly, scratch that. The biggest problem of the Michael Bay Transformers movie is how to be the shaking cam. Like, can I see a better action movie? You don't see James Bond and Mission Impossible and every single Marvel movie and some of the good DC movie have the shaky cam. Well, almost, because they always have shaky cam time to time, but not as much as this film right here. This has got to be one of my top 5 worst movie of 2014, and this has got to be one of the second worst Transformers movie ever made, and one of the top 5 worst Michael Bay movie ever. And if you want to watch a way better Transformers movie, even I'm not a huge fan of the 2007 movie, even I think it's overrated, but go watch Transformers 2007. Go watch that. Go watch Transformers Dark of the Moon. Go watch that decent movie. Go watch the original Transformers movie. Go watch Bumblebee. Go watch Transformers A Rise of the Beast, which is really meh, but at least it's way more tolerable than this one. And last but not least, go watch Transformers 1. Transformers 1 is way better than Transformers Age of Extinction, because at least Transformers 1 is entertaining, it's an amazing masterpiece, And that film had one of the best concepts I ever seen in a Transformers movie. Because we haven't seen a Transformers movie about brother betrayed. I'm sorry about my grandmother. But anyway, because we haven't seen a Transformers film about Megatron and Optimus Prime was friends at first, but they become brothers and they betrayed us. Yeah. Yeah, and that's where we end in this today's generation. Alex betrayed us, Alex Megatron, and I'm Optimus Prime. So, screw Alex. Anyway, I am going to give Transformers Age of Extinction a 1 out of 10. Yep, the same rating as Revenge of the Fallen, and I don't give a crap. Give a crap, Mr. Said. This is the worst movie. No pun intended, it's the worst movie, darn it. And this film is definitely deserve a seal of Nick Hick Studio Lounge garbage, and Michael Bay don't ever do a reference of pop cultures and pedophile. And if I see this couple again, I am going to lose my mind, because nobody wants to see a Transformers movie when you have a two couple who is not the same age. The other character is 20, and the girl, she's 17. And I do agree with Dino 75. This is just questionable. In my opinion, I just think this couple is one of the worst couple I ever seen in a Michael Bay movie. Yup, even worse than Megan Fox and Casey Jones. And that's a fact. So, fellas, that was my movie rant on Transformers Age of Extinction. So tell me about your opinion on this movie on the comment section below. So, if you haven't seen this movie, don't even bother watch this film. If you want to watch it, be my guest. You can watch it whenever you want, but trust me, this film is absolutely terrible, and people will definitely agree with me. But if you enjoy this film, I can hear your opinion. But for me, this film is doink. Anyway, guys, so what is the next rant I should do for Transformers? Oh no, not the next one. Oh heck no, it's Transformers The Last Night. Oh man, I am so glad that is the last bad Transformers movie. This rant is coming up after my movie review on Gladiator 2. After Gladiator 2, we are going to get one of the worst finale that we ever seen in a Michael Bay movie, and one of the top 10 worst finale in the history of cinema. Yeah, it can show that Michael Bay Transformers movie back then was completely dead in the ground. But before I do that, I gotta watch some rant to be prepared for this atrocity. So stay tuned for my movie rant to Transformers The Last Night. And after that, I'm gonna do a review on the good Transformers movie, like Transformers 2007, Transformers Dark of the Moon, the Transformers the movie, and last but not least, my redo review on Transformers. So it's like a Transformers week, but I don't give a crap. Anyway, guys, so this is Nick Hick Studio Lounge signing off, and Michael Bay, don't show this couple ever again, and John, don't ever do this character ever again, because this character make Dr. Dragon very angry, like this. She, oh, why I'm in this Transformers movie, this is so unacceptable!